Hey everybody, welcome to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be reacting to the Premier League weekend, the first Premier League weekend, Game Week 1. Very much anticipated Game Week 1. Was not a banger, what we expected for it to be, but it was good football. It's good to have competitive football back. And it started all the way in Anfield, where, an unknown Liverpool, to be honest. A Liverpool that we're not even sure how it's going to perform. Even now, I'm still not sure if it's still going to win the league or not. People are still picking it to win the league, but it was a tough game. Bournemouth, having lost all their top players, Dean Huijsen, Sabani to PSG, Huijsen to Real Madrid, KKS to Liverpool, almost the entire back line, to be honest. But they're still a great team with Antoine Semenyo up forward. Who's that striker of theirs again? I remember his name along the way, but their striker was there, and it was a hard game for Liverpool, to be honest. They led 1-0 going into half-time through Hugh Ekitike goal. Lucky goal. Don't think his quality did show in that goal. I just think it was a lucky goal. And then, Cody Gakpo does what he does best. Gets the chance and puts it into the bottom bins for 2-0. And then Bournemouth just came back into the game. Antoine Semenyo, having done some bad things by a very bad person, just shrugged that off and then scored a brace in the second half. And seemed like Liverpool got to throw the 3 points away. But up stepped a man that all of us really, didn't see coming, Federico Chiesa, to win at Anfield, to make it 3-2, and then Salah, of course, winning it for the FPL matches, to make it 4-2, and Liverpool take the first game on the Friday opener at Anfield by 4-2. Disappointed in Liverpool's performance, to be honest, yes, I am. I mean, they have a great squad. Dominic Szoboszlai, Gravenberg, McAllister in the midfield, Curtis Jones also on the bench, Watari and also on the bench. It's just a great squad. Even the defense, Konate is on peak of his powers. Van Dijk is a bit falling, but those two are just walls. You can't just bypass them. The new signing of Milos Kerkez and Jeremy Frimpong, I think they still get Frimpong has to get used to the Premier League, but he will come along. I think Liverpool get a top 4 place. Don't know where in the top 4. I don't see them winning, to be honest. I don't see them winning the league unless they prove me otherwise. But then the next day, Aston Villa, 1:30, 0-0, dull game. Aston Villa got a red card. And in the 3 p.m. games, you had Sunderland beating West Ham. I think West Ham are going down, to be honest. And then Brighton drawing with Fulham, and then Spurs beating Burnley, which is really expected by everyone. And then the late kickoff was Wolves against Man City. And, Man City brushed aside Wolves. But in the first half, to be honest, the first 20-30 minutes before the first goal by Erling Haaland was a bit tough for them. I mean, Wolves were putting on the pressure. I think also Monetti scored, ruled out for offside. But Wolves were really on top of Manchester City. And then, the quality, I think, at the end just showed that, just the class apart. I don't see them going down, Wolves. I think they'll be there, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. Those are the kind of their positions. Because I still think they're going to lose to almost every big 6 side, except Manchester United. Banter a bit. And then tomorrow, on Sunday, we saw Forest beating Brentford by 3-1. And then, weirdly, the world champions going up against the Community Shield champions and the FA Cup champions in Crystal Palace. And there's a 0-0 draw. And I think the better team was Crystal Palace, especially in the first half, as they got the goal, ruled out correctly, I think, for an infringement by Mark Guehi. And, Chelsea were not there the whole game, I think, in my opinion. They were not getting the ball to Cole Palmer as much as possible. The wingers really didn't show much. Estevao came on, showed glimpses here and there, but it wasn't enough. And just ended 0-0. People are saying Chelsea are going to be, obviously, I think they're going to be in the top 4. I think so. Champions League qualification again. But winning the league is a bit too much for me. If I had to put teams, I'd say, obviously, it's going to be between Liverpool and Manchester City, but you never know. Arsenal are strong, but I was disappointed in them. They played in the late kickoff on Sunday, in the Super Sunday kickoff, and they beat Manchester United 1-0, But to be honest, Man United did perform better than Arsenal. Arsenal were lackluster. They scored via a corner, which is what Arsenal do, set piece FC. But they survived. David Raya was outstanding. The amount of saves he keeps pulling up season after season, and he's still underrated. I don't know how. Just keeps on bagging points in the FPL as well. It's just an amazing goalkeeper. And then on Monday, we saw Leeds take on Everton. It was a dull game, first half, but but we do expect that from Everton, They were not anywhere to be seen in the first half, Everton, and then Leeds, the home team, you just expect them to take the initiative, and they did that. And in the second half, they got a penalty of something that I think also Tarkowski said, I think in an interview, that he doesn't understand the rules anymore of handball. Neither do we, because I think his hands were by his side, but the penalty was given for leaning into the ball. And, Meta stepped up and he scored the penalty, and Leeds take a 1-0, deservedly to win the game. But, at that time when they scored, Everton were really pushing, but Leeds did end up winning the game. And, great start to Daniel Farke, who gets, I think, his 7th or 8th win in 50 games in the Premier League. It's a bit tough. I don't see him lasting the whole season. I still think he's going to get sacked. If I was to pick 3 from the first match week to go down, I'd say I still think Leeds are going down. Leeds, Burnley up there to go down. And then I'm going to say West Ham. I know West Ham, people are going to say they're going to survive, but in my opinion, I don't see them at all, because they don't have the squad, they don't have the coach. Graham Potter, good, but come on. I don't see him saving West Ham unless he gets sacked and they hire someone like Lopetegui again. I don't see it. In my top 4, I'd give it to, in random order, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester City. That's my top 4. Tell me what you think in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button.